Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my favorite healthy and paleo breakfast ideas. Some sweet, some savory, all delicious, so let's get into it. So first up, we have the perfect paleo pancake, and they are amazing. So all you're going to need are a couple of eggs, a very ripe banana, some coconut flour, vanilla extract, and cinnamon, and that's it. So you're going to start by breaking up your banana, obviously, and then we're going to mash it. So I just use like a potato masher or whatever you want to call this, and I just mash it up till it's a good liquid consistency. Then you're going to take a couple of eggs, and with this batter, just add 2 eggs for every banana you add if you want to make a bigger batch. So just add in the eggs and then whisk that all together to make sort of a liquidy batter consistency. Then we're going to add in a tablespoon of coconut flour, and that's it. A dash of vanilla extract, and then as much cinnamon as you want. I really like the cinnamon, so I went pretty heavy on the cinnamon, but that's okay. And then you whisk that all together, and that's literally it. There's your pancake batter. It is that easy. So then we're going to move over to the stove, and I use this coconut oil spray so that my pancakes don't stick. And then I turn down the heat to medium, and I just use a ladle to get it in there. See a ladle, LOL. Okay, anyway, so I just ladle some in. I like using the ladle because I can kind of make them the shape and the size that I want. So I just put those in there. I leave them on the first side for about 3 minutes. You can kind of see the edges turning white when they're ready to turn, and bam, perfect pancake. It's so good. So turn those, and then be careful on this next side because they can burn pretty easily. So after about 2 minutes, I take them off, and they're so good, and they're fluffy, and you won't even miss all the flour and the sugar. So if you aren't paleo, you could add some butter. If you are, just add some all natural organic maple syrup, and they're so delicious, you guys. I promise, check these out. You will not regret it. They are so yummy and much better for you than regular pancakes. My other favorite sweet paleo breakfast treat are my banana bread paleo muffins. I actually already did a recipe video during Holiday Me how I make this banana bread loaf, but I just take the exact same recipe and I put it in muffin cups. So I am lining my baking sheet with little muffin cups, and I am spraying them with coconut oil because they do tend to stick. And then I'm just taking an ice cream scoop. It's a little trick I learned from the Food Network, and I am just scooping them in there. Makes them all about the same size so they bake evenly, plus it's just easier to get them in there. And then that's it. You bake them at 350 for 20 minutes instead of 45, and they are so delicious. You can add chocolate chips or not. This batch I didn't add any chocolate chips. They're literally so good. They taste like there's butter and everything in there. You have to try these, and they freeze really well, so I can make a big batch on the weekends and then grab them throughout the week when I need some breakfast, and they're so good. Next up is probably the most requested recipe to do on my channel, and that is my cauliflower breakfast hash. It is so good. You'd never know there weren't potatoes in it. You're going to need a couple of eggs, I use Trader Joe's riced cauliflower. You can rice your own, but it's really awful and it smells bad, so just buy it pre-riced. So I'm going to take my riced cauliflower. I'm using about 2 cups of it, and then I'm going to take 2 eggs and whisk those together before I pour in the riced cauliflower because it's just a little bit easier. So then I'm going to dump that in. Then I'm going to dump in some cooked caramelized just diced onions, 2 strips of turkey bacon ripped into pieces, and as much parsley as your little heart desires. My heart desires a lot. And then I'm going to be adding in some coconut flour just to help things kind of bind together to make it a little more hash brown like. Then I'm going to add in some salt, a lot of garlic powder, and a lot of pepper. I love both of those, so I add in a bunch. And then that's it. I'm going to just stir it all up until everything is incorporated. Make sure that egg is really incorporated throughout all of the mixture. And then we're going to cook it kind of just like hash browns. So again, we're going to spray our pan with coconut oil spray. A lot of coconut oil spray in this video. And then you're just going to dump it in. And I just kind of flatten it out with my spatula to kind of get an even, not burn, but you know, like the hash brown char on the one side. So there you see it right there. I'm not too worried about making it like perfect hash browns. I just want it to taste like them. I don't need them to look like it, so I'm not too worried about flipping the entire thing. At this point, I kind of just break it up and I just cook it down until all of the moisture is kind of gone. You want it kind of dry, which sounds gross, but it's really good, I promise. And that's it. You just dish it up. You guys, it tastes like potatoes. It's nuts, and it's so good for you, so you can have as much as you want. And I have saved my personal favorite for last. These are my savory sweet potato hash browns. They are incredible, and I made them up myself, so let's just get into it. So I'm going to start by peeling my potato, and I just like to get it wet because I find that it peels a little bit easier, so I'm just peeling off all the skin, and then I'm moving over to the oven to caramelize some onions. I use the Trader Joe's pre-diced onions. They're a lifesaver. Just adding in some olive oil, and then I'm adding in a bunch of onions. I kind of really want to play up the savory part of these hash browns so that you don't miss the real potato. So I add in a bunch of onions. Then I'm going to grate the sweet potato, which is really hard and I hate doing it, but it's worth it. And then I make Bradley take over because it's too much hard work for me. So once you've grated your entire sweet potato, you put it into a bowl so we can add all the other fixins and go back to the stove. And once the onions look caramelized and a little bit brown, they're ready to go, and just dump them in the sweet potato mixture. We're also going to add some olive oil, just kind of enough to coat the entire mixture. And then I'm adding in garlic powder, sea salt, and black pepper. You can skip one step and just add in garlic salt if you want to, but I really like this combo. I usually don't like to cook with so much salt, but these really need it to be savory, and I just put in a bunch of pepper because you guys know I love my pepper. So after you put in all the seasoning, that's it. You just kind of stir it on up, make sure everything's incorporated, and then we're going to take it to the stove, and you're going to use the exact same pan you already used, so it's already olive oiled up and greased and nice and ready to go. So dump it all in, and then again, just kind of flatten it out. Same exact technique as the last recipe, just kind of gonna get that char type on the one side. And I usually almost always burn these a little bit on accident, but they always still taste good, so don't worry. As you can see, it just a little bit of a burn, so don't worry if you do that. They still taste really good. I actually kind of like it. So yeah, same thing, just gonna cook down all the moisture. And yeah, they're kind of like this lighter orange color when they're done. And you guys, to me, this tastes like fried rice. It literally tastes like I'm at Benihana. It's those onions. It tastes so good. And to be honest, we'd never really eat this for breakfast. We usually have it on a side with dinner, and it's so good. You have to try it. I promise you won't regret it. Okay guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this recipe video. I will have more recipe videos for you very soon. If you want to subscribe, click up in the left corner on my little face there. I'll have my last video linked also, and you can also find me on social media. There are my little links. Please tag me if you make any of these recipes and let me know how you liked them. And I love you guys. I'll see you very soon in the next video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.